Shalom, today is June 17th, and we're in day 255 of the war in Israel. Israel has had a hard weekend. We all thought that we lost soldiers, 8 IDF soldiers in Shabbat, and that's what was announced Shabbat evening. But yesterday we learned that 4 more were actually killed on that Shabbat. So the newspapers are full of that. We see the might and the pain, hagvura v'hake'ev. We see the emotions, the strong emotions in one of the funerals as they experience the loss of a loved one. And we see the 12 soldiers that were fallen. Some of them are younger, some of them are older, some of them are fathers and even one grandfather as they served faithfully Israel and the IDF. Also here in Haaretz, the main photograph is the families in one of the funerals. So they're calling it a Shabbat HaShchora, a black Shabbat, with this disaster in Gaza killing 12 of our soldiers. Another headline, and we'll go into this update right now, Rafah, the day after. So here's the update about Rafah. They have an extensive article about this. And they're saying it's the day after the disaster in the armored vehicle. The forces, the IDF forces, are continuing to fight in Rafah. And the target is to make a strong, decisive situation, hachra'ah, instead of wobbling from side to side. Here's some of the achievements. The IDF has assassinated over 500 Hamas terrorists since the beginning of their operations in Rafah. And they have uncovered over 100 tunnel shafts and hundreds of weapons and ammunition. The IDF is continuing to deepen their control over the Philadelphia corridor that is separating between Gaza and Egypt. And it's continuing to demolish the battalions that are left of Hamas in that area. We read here that the Hamas terrorists, though, are surprising. They're able to surprise the IDF soldiers. They've sophisticated their techniques. They're surprising them with anti-tank missiles, with explosives that they're putting on the side of the armed vehicles, the IDF armed vehicles. As the IDF is working together with intelligence and using aerial vehicles, and they're creating more and more success, still Hamas is continuing to try, and they're succeeding in killing some IDF soldiers, as we've just experienced in this weekend. I'm continuing to read. It says in these days, the IDF is continuing to hold strong at the Philadelphia corridor, that the Hamas cannot use it, not for ammunition, not for smuggling, not for passage of terrorists and other ammunitions. According to the assessment, the operation in Rafah will finish in the next few weeks. Until today, the IDF has not yet worked in the central part of Rafah because humanitarian reasons. There are so many civilians there, meaning Gaza residents. So when the IDF is working in Rafah, it says they're working on the sides of Rafah, everywhere they can, as well as the Philadelphia corridor, holding it strong. So as they expect to finish the operation in Rafah, most likely the assessments are that the main front will turn to be Lebanon, because in the last few weeks, more and more IDF units have been going out for refreshments. They've been sent out home to be refreshed. What for? Because perhaps they're going to be called back very soon to fight in the north as we're closing up the operations in Gaza and specifically in Rafah. So this article has a lot of tension. Even at the end of it, nothing is final, nothing is closed, and Lebanon is next. On the left, we read an opinion article explaining why Sinwar refusing for an exchange deal with the hostages, and the author is connecting between Gaza, and Beirut. Why do Sinwar and Nasrallah are holding strong their positions, not giving in, and how Sinwar is actually achieving what he wants, a regional war against Israel. And if Israel will be forced to fight Lebanon, which we are going to be forced into that corner, Iran might attack Israel again as we are attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon. So Sinwar has no reason to give in to Israel's request for a hostage exchange deal. Hagiborim shelo yashivu, the heroes that will not return. These are quite a few pages of these excellent young and older men that were killed during the weekend, during Shabbat. So we'll read just a few, but here we are. There's Eliyahu, Shalom, and Yakir that studied together in a yeshiva, and they were all killed together on Shabbat. Eliyahu's father said in his funeral, he said, I want to thank all of the IDF soldiers. It is a very painful day, but continue to do what you're doing. Another one is old, 20 years old. They say he was very, very knowledgeable. He was very humble and with no evil in him. His younger brother is sharing that they were hoping that after the service they would connect more. They agreed that they would spend more time together. So yeah, this is a very big loss to his brother, as he's explaining here. Down here, there's a special notification from the Combat Engineering Battalion 601. It's the same Combat Engineering Battalion that fought in Lebanon in the year 1982, and their veterans are saying here that they're sending their condolences, and they're appreciating this battalion's work, because from this battalion 601 are most of these soldiers that died. So here are the veterans encouraging and comforting the younger generation that's fighting in the same battalion as they did so many years ago in 1982. We turn the page and we're hearing here about a grandfather. His name was Ilon Weiss, 49 years old, a young grandfather. He said he's the first grandfather that falls in this war. And he was an arrow of sacrificial love. In just a couple more weeks, his daughter was supposed to get married. And he was loved among his students, it says. Here's a photo of Elon's funeral. And there are more and more. Here's Eitan, 28 years old, with his daughter. It says he was excellent in everything he did. So Israel is losing a lot of soldiers, sons, you can say, fathers, grandfathers. May their memory be blessed. As we turn the page, we read the daily segment. Each time it's about another hostage, and it's called Mechakim Lahem, waiting for them. 120 hostages still in Gaza. One story. Each time there's one story. And this is about Evyatar, and here's his mom and brother. They know he's alive. They say we haven't seen him alive, but we just feel inside that he's alive, and they're really expecting his return. They're speaking here about what happened on October 7th, what was the last communication with him, as he's saying we're running away from the party, but he was kidnapped shortly after. They're speaking how they break down in intimate, private moments where they just break down, and the hope to see Evyatar very, very soon. Here's Evyatar again. We'll end with the very back page with the news about the jellyfish. In Hebrew, jellyfish is benduza. They're coming to the shores of Israel. They sting, so not only Hamas, but also jellyfish are coming to Israel. It says, treat them as a kviya, as a burn, not more. Just use aloe vera. As Israelis love to enjoy the beaches in the summer, July and August are the very popular months. The jellyfish are going to be very common in the next few weeks as they're coming with the waves. If you go to allisrael.com, you'll find more stories and more updates. Please follow us on our social media. Like this video if you liked it, and share it with your friends and family. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.